Winter is over, spring is officially here. You know what that means. It is time for you guys to hear all about all the skincare and a few hair care products I have finished up of late. Last time I did one of these videos was at the start of winter. I do them seasonally. As a friendly reminder, I film a separate video for your viewing pleasure, stay tuned, regarding all of the sunscreens I actually finished up. There are quite a few. I'm gonna film the video right after this one, so get excited, stay tuned. But let's go in no particular order through my bucket. Y'all know, love to double cleanse. Just find it a very relaxing experience to rub an oil or a balm all over my face to dissolve cosmetic residue. I adore this DHC Deep Cleansing Oil. It's very similar to the Hada Labo cleansing oil, which is one of my all-time favorites. Very similar formula. This one has a hint of like a rosemary aroma to it. Really nice, luxurious texture. I purchased this from Stylovana. Would definitely use it again, although I have several other cleansing oils in rotation right now that I need to finish up. But yeah, let me know in the comments. Have you tried the DHC Deep Cleansing Oil? If so, what did you think? The Isntree Yam Root Vegan Milk Cleanser. Oh my gosh. But it feels like this little slippery, slimy, cooling, milky hug on your face. And it works up into a very mild, creamy lather. This is one of the best cleansers I have encountered for extremely sensitive skin. I always used it as a second step in a double cleanse. Really enjoy the creamy texture. It really does feel like you're getting this nice little barrier supporting hug. Yam root, rich and hydrating compounds, as well as anti-inflammatory and antioxidant compounds. So this for me was one of my all-time favorite cleansers that I tried out in 2023. I definitely would repurchase this. If you're in the market for a really mild, gentle cleanser that is also a pleasurable experience to use with no fragrance, try this one out. The other cleanser that I made my way through, actually one of the refills of it, I should say, is one of my favorites from Neutrogena, the Hydro Boost Hydrating Gel Cleanser, fragrance-free with hyaluronic acid. This is great for dry or oily or combination skin. Works really well as a second step for a double cleanse. It's not overly drying. I use it comfortably around my eyelids. A gel texture, but it works up into a silky, slight foamy lather and rinses off the skin really well, leaving it cleansed, but also hydrated at the same time. It cuts down on that stripped, tight, dry feeling. It's a really nice formula. I seriously hope they never change this. Those of you who watch my vlogs, you have been here for the journey that is making my way through the Peter Thomas Roth cucumber gel mask. I got this in PR. Now, this is a cucumber gel mask that you apply to the skin, leave it on for about 10 minutes, and then rinse off. I use this every morning from sometime in November all the way through up until actually a few days ago. It does have cucumber in it. That's a hydrating ingredient. It also has some ingredients that I tend to shy away from because they can be irritating, namely fruit acids, as well as citrus extracts, which can be irritating to the skin. This product was not bad. It wasn't great, not something I would go out of my way to purchase again. But I have to say, in using it every single morning, I kind of like this approach of using some kind of hydrating mask first, rinsing it off with just water, and not bothering with a cleanser first thing in the morning. I've said this before, you don't necessarily need to use a cleanser in the morning. The main annoyance of it is that, well, you've got to wait 10 minutes. Not the most time efficient thing out there, but I didn't hate using this, but would not go out of my way to repurchase it. Here's another one that I was lukewarm on. Didn't think it was, wow, must have this, I'm obsessed, but didn't hate it. Didn't really have anything negative to say about it. It's the Manyo Bifida Biome Complex Ampoule. This is a product that has fermented ingredients, which are in theory enriched in anti-inflammatory compounds and antioxidants that could be beneficial for maybe your skin barrier, calming down inflammation that would lead to discoloration, redness, irritation. This also has copper peptides, which are really popular in anti-aging products. They make all sorts of claims that they help with collagen, they help smooth the skin, they help correct dark spots. But keep in mind, the research on copper peptides is not as well hashed out as other more evidence-based ingredients for, say, dark spots like retinoids or hydroquinone, or redness like niacinamide. This has niacinamide in it as well. I applied it every evening after cleansing to the face, allowed it to absorb, applied my tretinoin on over it. I found that it did help my skin look and feel more hydrated, but I didn't really appreciate any sort of change in skin texture necessarily with using this. It's kind of expensive. I got this in one of the Korean beauty advent calendars. Glad I had the opportunity to try it out, but I would not purchase it myself. This is probably jar number 13 of one of my all-time favorite facial moisturizers from Aveeno. It's the Calm and Restore Oat Gel Moisturizer. Absolutely adore this. Everything from the ingredients, the consistency, the results that I get. It is a fragrance-free moisturizer that, as the name implies, is a gel consistency. It leaves a nice hydrating, protected layer of love on the surface of the skin. It has oats in it, which are wonderful for people who have a tendency towards dryness and irritation. They're very hydrating and they have anti-inflammatory properties. This also has compounds from centella in it, which are anti-inflammatory as well. I wish this were a little less expensive, but I keep rebuying it because I genuinely love it that much. And I really hope they never discontinue this. I love the texture. It has that almost instant wrinkle smoothing effect because it is a nice hydrating formula. It doesn't feel greasy on the skin. If you need a little extra moisturizer in the morning, like you find that your sunscreen alone is not sufficiently moisturizing, I have never had an issue with this causing my sunscreens to pill. So it's a great option either in the morning and or the evening. Great if you have rosacea, it's not super heavy. Also great if you have oily, acne-prone skin, you don't like greasy facial moisturizers. Love it to bits. Speaking of greasy, y'all know I am a huge fan of petrolatum ointments, especially for like my lower legs, my feet, my hands. I don't really do the slugging thing per se. From time to time I do. But yeah, I go through a lot of ointments. I like to use them after bathing. I love coating my hands, my feet in petrolatum and covering with socks and gloves. This approach can really help improve the buildup of dry, rough skin. It can help cut down on those frictional forces that lead to thick callus, and it also can really help protect your nails and help the health of the nail plates themselves just by acting as a protective film close up, where you have your cuticle. Plain petrolatum. Went through a whole jar of this. I have no problem going through a big jar of petroleum jelly, 13 ounces. But like I said, I love ointments so much. That's not the only one that I went through. I also finished the up and up version of Aquaphor healing ointment. I don't mind Aquaphor, but I prefer either plain petroleum jelly, or I much prefer CeraVe's healing ointment to Aquaphor's healing ointment, just in terms of the consistency and the ingredients in the CeraVe one I find are a bit more unique. Now, this product, as well as its inspiration, Aquaphor, they differ from plain petrolatum in that they have more ingredients. They have mineral oil and they also have lanolin alcohol. Now, I always point this out, but the reason why this might be potentially slightly more risky for causing you problems is that some people do become allergic to lanolin and it causes issues, whereas petrolatum is pretty much immunologically inert. People don't become allergic to petrolatum, so it's a safer option. People who have eczema and are experiencing a flare, or they have a severely impaired barrier, really chapped lips. All that to say, this, if you love Aquaphor and you're not allergic to lanolin, but you're looking to save some coin, try the up and up version because it's identical. It is identical. I mean, same ingredients, same consistency, blindfold yourself, you're not gonna know the difference, and it is a lot less expensive. Then I finished another tube of my 2023 skincare favorite, Gold Bond's Age Renew Retinol Overnight Body and Face Lotion. I only use this on my body because I use tretinoin on my face. There's no need to use multiple forms of topical vitamin A on your face unless you have a vitamin A, like a retinol eye cream that you're using that's gentler around the eyes because it's a sensitive area. This product is so good. Even if it didn't have retinol in it, I think it would still be excellent because the overall formula is so hydrating, so moisturizing. It's not greasy. I genuinely see a visible difference in like the skin of my upper arms, my thighs. When I use this, I love how easily it spreads on the skin surface. It has urea in it, but in contrast to other urea creams, I find this has just a little bit more of a luxurious texture. It also has a peptide in it, which may help, again, along with urea, help with improving moisture content and smoothing out and helping with dry, rough skin. It has ceramide, which is really good for helping your skin's lipid barrier. Ceramides are naturally found there. Applying them topically can help boost production when things become a little impaired. Now, it's got shea butter, dimethicone. If you want to use this on the face, it's fine to do so. It's marketed that way. It is very comfortable. I don't because, like I said, I already use tretinoin and I don't like to double dip in that regard. Plus, you cannot ignore the price point on this is pretty attractive. Now, this is a tube packaging, but Walmart also sells a large pump, which I also like and have gone through. So I feel as though in my search of the price point of this, I feel as though Walmart and Amazon have the most competitive prices on it. All right, speaking of body moisturizers, y'all, if you're new here, you're like, what the heck? What, is this girl just putting cream on her skin all day long? I mean, kind of, not all day long, but I have atopic dermatitis and a mainstay of managing that is consistent use of a moisturizer on my body as well as my face. So after every shower, I use a ton of moisturizer all over my body, especially I like to use those greasy ointments to like my lower legs where I tend to have flares more, as well as my feet. I mean, I go through a lot. So this is a great body moisturizer for a variety of reasons. It's a La Roche-Posay Lipicare AP Triple Repairing Moisturizing Cream. It's a nice thick moisturizer that you also can use on the face. It's formulated around people who have atopic dermatitis. It even has the National Eczema Association seal on it. And the reason I like this is that I love the consistency. It's free of fragrance, which is beneficial if you have eczema. You may be a little bit more likely to have issue with fragrance. It has ceramides, as I just mentioned. Those are really good for helping improve the production of lipids in skin's outermost layer. And it also has niacinamide, which is really good for barrier recovery. But niacinamide is also good for hyperpigmentation, dark spots, because it puts the brakes on transfer of pigment from the pigment producing cells of melanocytes to neighboring keratinocytes. So it can be really beneficial in areas where you are prone to hyperpigmentation. I often will suggest this product actually for people who deal with dark discoloration under the arms. Now, I strongly encourage you to find out why you have dark discoloration under the arms. There are many potential root causes, and people will say, what's a good cream for that? What's a good this for that? It's like, what is the diagnosis first and foremost? But regardless of the diagnosis, I find this is a good option for using just to generally moisturize under the arms because it is free of common irritants. Underarm skin is a lot more vulnerable to irritation because you have skin on skin contact, occlusion, the skin there is thin, you have sweat. It just makes things a lot more likely to cause irritation. A lot of active ingredients are very poorly tolerated under the arms. Niacinamide generally is well tolerated, so if it is hyperpigmentation related to like post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, maybe you got some irritation from a deodorant and healed with a dark mark, niacinamide can help you out in that regard, but niacinamide also helps the skin barrier, reducing the chances of irritation that would further exacerbate hyperpigmentation. So I really like this in that regard. My main gripe with this, as somebody who has atopic dermatitis and does this elaborate body moisturizing routine when I get out of the shower, is the packaging is very inefficient. You press this down and it takes forever for it to come back up, and it puts out a very small little aliquot of moisturizer, so it takes me forever to moisturize my body with this because of the packaging. They do make it in a tube, which is a better packaging system from an efficiency standpoint. Like it otherwise, and I think it's a great option. The Lipicare line from La Roche-Posay is great in general, as a side note. Body care favorite. Now this one it does have fragrance, so if you're allergic, sorry, not for you. but I love these Tree Hut shave oils, and I want more brands to come out with these shave oils because this is so good. And I know that there are other brands out there that could put their own spin on it, make fragrance-free versions. Tree Hut is not going to deviate from fun scents. That's what people go to the brand for. They really have delivered, in my opinion, on a shave product that is unique. It's moisturizing. It creates a nice moisturizing film on the skin surface to cut down on shave irritation, nicks. Love the scents. They're not strong, they're not overpowering. Also love the fact that you put it on the skin, and while you are in the shower trying to shave your legs, because you know it can be a bit of a gymnastics-like feat to shave your legs in the shower, depending on how your tub is oriented. It can be kind of a pain. Trying to rinse the blade out. You know the drill, but not, you know, rinse everything all off your leg while you're standing under the shower water. You try turn the, I mean, it's like a bit of choreography sometimes, shaving your legs in the shower. This will actually stay put on your legs while you go about your shaving routine, but then it rinses off efficiently when you actually, you know, actively try and rinse it off, so it doesn't leave behind any kind of irritating residue on the skin. Sesame seed oil, grapeseed oil, argan oil, which are emollients. They help soften and smooth the skin. This also has glycerin, a humectant, and it has shea butter, which is moisturizing, oak kernel extract, which is anti-inflammatory, and glycerin, which is hydrating. The other reason I like these so much is that they don't clog up the razor. They're easy to rinse out of the razor. I shouldn't say I will never go back to, but I'll have a hard time going back to shaving foams, especially. While they're fun, they make a mess. Shaving foams, shaving creams, shaving gels, I'll have a hard time going back to those after using the Tree Hut shave oil. And while Tree Hut is attractive to people because of their fragrances, I have to say the fragrances in their products are good. They're really good. They do a good job of making a nicely scented product that's not cheap smelling, but is also not so strong that it's irritating to your skin. A lot of people enjoy fragrance in their skincare and they're not irritated by it, but we all know that a lot of brands that put fragrance in, they're putting in like these mega doses of unpleasant scents that give you a headache. Tree Hut really does a nice job in that regard. Like their body washes, love. I told you guys we were gonna have some hair care products in here, so let's get to those. First of all is the Redken Acidic Perfecting Concentrate, Intense Conditioning, Heat Protection, Styling Aid, Hydration Intense Protection, and then it just goes into some French words. I don't speak French, but there you have it. So what this is a product that is designed for people who have damaged hair from maybe color treatments, excessive heat styling, chemical treatments, chemical processing of the hair. Maybe you're somebody who brushes your hair a little bit too aggressively. You can get what's called trichorexis nodosa. You need a little bit of help for your strands to reapproximate some of those damaged bonds. This has citric acid, which may help with that. I don't do any of those things. I don't really aggressively brush my hair. I don't heat style that often. I do from time to time. I don't color treat my hair. So I used this to the ends of my hair. The first few weeks to month I was using this, I was just kind of pining for my Moroccan oil styling cream back in my life, because I was just like, what is this doing? It wasn't until 5 or 6 weeks, maybe 2 months into using this, that I started noticing my hair just looked a lot glossier, smoother, shinier. Now, all that being said, like I said, I don't have damaged hair per se, so it makes sense that I really didn't see much of a dramatic effect with it. I think if you're someone who gets your hair color treated, I think you will actually really like this. I swear there was a Victoria's Secret scent that smells just like this from back in the day. A little bit like a fruity gum smell, but I liked it. Would I repurchase it? Probably not, but I liked it. It worked out for me. Then the second hair care product I want to share with you guys is from a brand I reviewed several years ago after discovering them on Amazon and purchasing a bunch. Know Nothing. The Know Nothing line is a line of hair care products that is free of fragrance. They have quite a few options in their portfolio of different types of hair products. So this is their sensitive moisture treatment. You can actually leave it in for 5 to 15 minutes. You can put a warm towel over your hair to really get a nice intense treatment. It says heat will intensify it. I didn't do all of that. I just used it in the shower as a conditioner, basically. I left it in my hair strands for probably about 5 to 6 minutes, the majority of the time I used it. It's a nice conditioner. If you're allergic to fragrance, I do suggest trying this out. If you're not allergic to fragrance, I think the price point might be a little hard to stomach for a conditioning treatment when there are so many excellent conditioning hair masks out there at a fraction of the price. But if you're allergic to fragrance and you're looking for a more intense conditioning treatment, try this out. And if you're looking for hair styling products that are free of fragrance, try this brand out. You can get it on the Amazonian. That's the only place I've ever found it. I've never seen it in a store. Last but not least, I meant to include earlier in the video, but it made its way down to the bottom of the bucket, so I kind of was ignoring it. Comes from EltaMD. It's their oil and gel cleanser. I actually enjoyed this product quite a bit. Would I repurchase it? No. For the price and for what it is, I think, that ratio does not quite align, especially since I enjoy so many cleansing oils from Japan and Korea that are a lot better in terms of the price point. But what this is it's a oil cleanser. It comes out like a thick, clear, colorless gel. It spreads over the surface of the skin easily to break up your cosmetic residue. It emulsifies with a little bit of water. It's a really nice and effective product for removing makeup. It says it has pumpkin enzyme in it. I'm not clear about that because it has pumpkin ferment extract. So is it actually an enzyme that's going to target things in your skin and exfoliate, or is it compounds in this ferment that are like anti-inflammatory? I'm not sure. Lactobacillus ferment has hydrating compounds. Overall, I found this effective, easy to tolerate, pleasure to use. Yeah, I like it, but again, the price point is on the steeper side of things, so I don't know that I would necessarily repurchase it, but I enjoyed it and enjoyed it enough to finish it up. All right, y'all, that wraps up my skincare empties for this seasonal video. Now, just because it's a seasonal video, it doesn't mean it's not as though I started all of these products the first day of winter and used them all up in these winter months. Not at all. Many of them have been in rotation, me making my way through them very slowly over the past year and a half. So keep that in mind. I don't go through a ton of stuff that quickly over several months. Let me know in the comments what skincare products you have been loving. Make sure you stay tuned for the sunscreen empties video. All right, y'all, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.